How's it going, guys? It's Dakota Frandsen with the Paranormal Radar Force. I am here to tell you opportunity. We're here. We're ready to go to Europe. Oh, I'm godlike. Look at that. Oh, I am. Anyway, random insanity aside, who would like to come to Europe? Anyone? Anyone? Ask her. You've probably seen notices from me talking about an opportunity to organize a group trip to Europe. I am not bullshitting you people about this. I come with a real opportunity to see Europe. We would go to France and Rome. Just go to Rome. Well, I have partnered with a company called Go Ahead Tours in order to provide this very opportunity to you guys. And I would like to share some information to disclose anything, disclose all information to answer any questions you may have, and to basically get the people who think this is a scam to shut the fuck up. This is all real, my friends. And to anyone who don't believe me, why are you wasting your time? You know, why do you waste your time? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to provide information through a little PowerPoint presentation, just a little something to help summarize the importance. And if anybody happens to jump in right now, I see that nobody wants to decide to come in like they said they would. Yeah. Now this information is being recorded just in case y'all didn't make it. Life is rough. Everyone's busy. So I'm putting together this little video to try to explain to you how this works. Okay? Now, let me just take a couple moments to bring up the PowerPoint presentation and we will get started. Okay? Here we go. Does it look like it's working? It looks like it's working. Okay. Welcome all. Welcome. This is for a Europe 2016. Woo. Allergies. Gotta love them, huh? Alright, welcome all. This is for a Europe 2016 tour. This tour will take place in March of 2016, give you guys plenty of time to be able to make payments on it. Please pay attention to this PowerPoint presentation and we'll be able to answer any questions you may have. Let's get going. So what is this about? This is an opportunity of a lifetime. When you think about it, what I'm about to tell you is more than most people get a freaking chance to do in a freaking lifetime. And we're going to pull this off within a week's worth of time. I am dead serious. This is also a chance to get you out of your comfort zone. This is also a chance to meet some new friends. In fact, I'm going to quote somebody. In fact, like that, new friends. This is a chance to take on an adventure unlike anything you've ever done before with friends you have yet to meet. Plus, if you want to make it a little family vacation, because this trip does start on March 12th of 2016, close to spring break, bring the kids along. They are more than welcome to come. We can accommodate kids ages 6 and up. Alright, now to explain to you how I came to this opportunity to put this all together, Go Ahead Tours is a part of a company called Educational First Tours, or EF Tours for short. These guys provide amazing tours at low cost. EF Tours is a student-based travel company that has several partner companies like Go Ahead Tours, which expand those trips to more people. Back in March, I actually traveled through Educational First Tours to China, and my God, it was absolutely amazing. There was a minor food poisoning incident, but that in the end that actually helped everyone that was on in my group to come together, to become closer, to become family. And because I wanted to keep going on these adventures, I wanted to keep traveling, I wanted to see every bit of the part of the world, I have partnered with Go Ahead Tours to make these trips available to everyone. If everything works out, we will make this an annual event. And each year there will be a new exciting destination. Next year it might be Australia, somewhere in Africa. Hell, there's even an option to go to Antarctica, if we're deciding that crazy. But for now, this trip will actually take us through Paris and Rome in March of next year. If you sign up now, this will actually give you plenty of time to make payments on the trip in any amount that you're able to, so that way you're not going bankrupt just so you can go out of the country for a bit. So how does this work? How does this work? By the end of this presentation, I will show you a link, and this link is also in the description, that will help you sign up for this trip. Now, like I said before, you'll actually be able to make payments in any amount after a $300 initial deposit. But by going through me, I can actually get you access to discounts that will help reduce the cost. In fact, if everything works out like I hope, we can actually get the amount of the discounts off of the trip. But first, before I get you guys to say, sign up, come on, sign up, how about I tell you what we're going to be doing? Because this would actually be quite an adventure, and you want to know where your money's going, right? I'll tell you. This tour offers hotel accommodations, daily breakfasts with 2 3-course dinners, a multilingual tour director who will be with us the entire trip. This will also pay for tour guides who will be local, that will join us in each city. In fact, when I went to China, I went to Beijing, Zhejiang, and Shanghai, and we had a different tour guide for each one. We will order coach all to ourselves, which we can actually leave our bags on. It's like, say, we keep money, maybe spare clothes and toilet paper, because, well, that was the situation for China. A lot of the difficulties with China, I hope we don't have to deal with Europe. Plus, our tour guides will take us on sightseeing tours, and it will help cover entrance fees to all of the destinations we will actually be visiting. They also offer flight accommodations if you choose that option. You can actually book your own flights if you feel more comfortable doing that. There's also a few optional features that this tour offers. Like I said, flight arrangements are optional. If you want, you can arrange your own flights, or you can let Go Ahead Tours handle them. One thing I will let you know about Go Ahead Tours flight accommodations is that the layover times are usually a couple of hours long. For some, this might not be so fine, but when you think about it, it is actually better because it's not making you rush to get on your next flight. Because let's say you're coming out of California, flying out of the East Coast, probably JFK. We're going to be connecting flights all across this country, so this will be an excellent opportunity to see your own country from the sky. You know, get a window seat, get some good pictures. In fact, when I went to China, to Seattle, and on our way down, I actually was able to get a good shot of the Space Needle. So you'll never know what you see. Maybe we'll see a UFO or two. You know what? You never know. Plus, there's actually optional activities throughout this entire trip now meant to enhance the experience. I will go into more detail about those a little later. So that's what they're about and what all we would do, and you know how those work. Also, there is insurance available that will cover illness. If, for example, we end up going to the one of us ends up going to the hospital due to some sort of freak accident or food poisoning, or lost baggage, travel delays, flight cancellations, all that good stuff. Trust me, you want to take advantage of this. While I was in China, and you're going to hear me reference this trip a lot, there was an incident that actually caused us to, excuse me, there was actually a food poisoning incident. What had happened is that we believe that some of our food from our hotel was contaminated, and about 9 of us in our group alone went down. Other groups that traveled with EF tours were also sick, but apparently we were actually the worst. Here's what happened. I'm going to go into this a little bit. So, I should know, if you're not familiar with travel, somebody always gets sick when you're traveling out and about. It just happens. There's always at least one person that gets a little sick. When it starts getting to be like 9 people, that usually is something unusual. Now, basically what had happened is that we had food poisoning. A lot of us actually started, I was actually one of the ones that got sick. I started feeling my stomach feel upset. I was like, I was figuring maybe, I had never actually flown before, so maybe it was just nerves from that, but apparently not. Let's just say, long story short, we were on a flight. We had to hop on a flight from Beijing to Xi'an, and apparently cabin descent and food poisoning do not agree. This insurance actually helped cover the costs of the medical expenses that we had to pay while we were over there, but thankfully because of how the exchange rate between US dollars and China's yuan, the medical care was actually very cheap, and it was actually quite scary. With Europe, hopefully we don't have to worry about that. In fact, that was the reason why I decided to go with Europe. It might be a little bit before I decided to go back to Asia, just out of fear of what I saw. But I don't want to talk like that. It seems like this is going to be a legitimate concern that some of you may have, and I will disclose more information to anybody who signs up. So moving on. So like I said, there's insurance available. Take advantage of it. Just do it. So what are we going to do? Here's actually going to be a little preview of our schedule. Day 1 to day 2, I've basically combined in one slide due to the fact of how flight and time change, because we are flying over a few different time zones. Day 1, we travel. Based on how the prices are for the tours, and you're going to see a peek of this a little later, chances are that those of you who are further to the East Coast are actually going to have more time to relax and pack up, because your flights are going to be later in the day. Those of us who are on closer, like West Coast, like me, we'll have to get up fairly early in the morning to make it to the airport, because we're spending the entire day traveling, and it's going to be a long day. If you'll let your excitement build up, it's not going to feel that long of a day, but yeah, but it's going to be a long day. Day 2, we're going to arrive. We arrive in Paris. Now, depending on what time we get there, we will actually enjoy a nice dinner meant to help everyone kind of get to know each other, because depending on the size of our group, there's a good chance we will actually meet up with another group when we're over there. Say I'm from Idaho, and when I went to China, we met up with a group from San Diego, California. They were nice people. Some of the nicest people I met, but sure enough, they had actually gotten there and were waiting for us at the airport. So it depends on how things go. We were actually supposed to enjoy a nice dinner to help each other meet each other, but due to the fact that we got in pretty late at night, we skipped over the dinner and went just straight to our hotel rooms. And if that is the case, this company, they don't like to cut corners if we do end up missing the dinner because we came in on a late flight, which does happen. There's not much you can do about it. They will probably arrange for a lunch later on, which was what they did when we went to China. In fact, we had lunch at a nice little restaurant just that was roughly half a mile from the Great Wall. So that was an exciting time. We'll actually be able to see all of this in this nice little picture I got here. Day 3, sightseeing in Paris. Some of the spots we'll actually visit will be in Notre-Dame Cathedral, the Eiffel Tower, of course, Palais Garnier, Opera House, I hope I'm saying this right, Place de la Concorde, and so much more. There'll be several activities that will be spread throughout the day. And while our tour guide will give us a little rundown of the history, and in fact, one thing I would like to mention, our tour guides will actually be locals, so they'll actually be able to let us in on any, rumored maybe ghost sightings or local history. They'll have a better idea of it because, well, they're from there. Day 4. There's actually a couple options we have here. Day 4 is the first of free time that we're going to get. We're actually going to have a lot of free time on this trip, but if you would like, you can actually add optional excursions. We'll visit the Versailles Palace and Gardens, and there's also a chance for an evening in Paris. It would be a dinner and river cruise. Basically, we'll meet whoever opts in for this will have a chance to eat at a very nice restaurant. There, I will say this now, there is a kind of a, what's the word for it? A dress code for these types of restaurants, which our tour guide will be sure to let us in on, so pack some nice clothes. And after dinner, we'll have a river cruise, which likely on a boat, kind of like that pictured. I know it's a little small, but and we'll be able to see Paris in the nighttime, see all the lights. Very romantic setting, so if you want to make this a couples retreat, do it. Because, hint, hint, I'm trying to do the same thing, so we'll see what happens. Moving on. Day 5. We have breakfast in Paris, then we catch a flight to Rome. Now we'll have an option for more free time just so we can get ourselves settled, or we'll have an optional excursion, which is dinner with tenors. It's going to be a 4-course meal with opera, and we'll actually have a chance to join in on the show. Sounds like a lot of fun. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm jumping in on every single optional excursion for this tour. Just because it just sounds fun. Day 6, we'll go sightseeing in Rome, the Trojans coming, the ruins of the Forum, Arc of Constantine, and of course the Roman Colosseum. Then after lunch, you'll have a free afternoon, or we'll visit, or if you would like, you can visit St. Paul's Basilica and the catacombs for ancient Rome. Like I said, if you go onto the main website in order to sign up, which will be in the description, you'll be able to get a little bit more information on the optional excursions. Day 7, another free day to explore, and with a dinner so we can all say goodbye. Or we'll have an option to visit Vatican City. That would be fun. I honestly would like to visit it just so I can say, I've been there. Alright, now, of course, day 8, you might assume that we have an option we'll be able to go home, right? Well, this is a shorter tour meant to be on the cheaper side, but if you would like, there is an option for you. The Athens extension. If you want to spend a little extra time exploring Europe, you can add Athens, Greece to the itinerary. The cost for this is an additional $649. It'll be added to your total cost of the tour, so it's not going to be like, oh, you want to go to the evening with Paris, evening in Paris, and you want to visit Athens. It's not going to be like separate costs. Everything is bunched together, so that way you can make easy payments, pay it all off, so that way it's not confusing. EF tours and going ahead tours, I can personally guarantee they do try to make things easy, and they do make sure they take very good care of those they take on these types of trips. So day 8. Good chance we'll have a nice little breakfast to say goodbye, and if we don't choose to go to Athens, we'll go home. Or like I said, we'll head to Athens and enjoy some free time to get ourselves acclimated to the area. And personally, I would love to see this. I know Greece is kind of going through an economic crisis right now, but that shouldn't stop us from visiting. So day 9, saying that we decided to go on the Athens extension. We'll visit the Temple of Zeus, ancient royal palace, tomb of the unknown soldier. Or we have an optional excursion, which Cape Union. If I remember correctly, I'm pulling up the main website right now just to make sure I check my facts before I give you a bunch of bullshit, you know? So just give me a sec here. I'm going to read up a little bit of a description for you of Cape Union, so that way you have there. It honestly looks like it'd be a very beautiful spot to visit. Alright, let me see here. Come on, get loaded, you bastard. Oh, sorry for my language. Alright. Almost there. Free day in Athens. Cape Union. Alright. We'll be able to visit the Poseidon coast, and we'll see the Temple of Poseidon. And one of the warnings that they have here is that there's some walking on uneven terrain, so be prepared for that type of environment. Now, going back to the show. Come on. We'll be able to take in the scenery. We'll be able to take in the lifestyle photos. Day 10. We'll have a free day to explore Athens, or we can visit the Greek islands of Aegina, and Hydra. That's another optional excursion. Go ahead and take a look at it. See if you're interested. Jump right on in. Day 11. We go home. See, go big or go home, you know? So, you interested in coming along? If you are, I got some more information for you. We have discounts available. Now, personally, if you would like to save money on this trip, this is actually a relatively cheap opportunity when you think about it. But because money is tough, and we have so we have a few options here to save some money. First off, there is a discount going on only for this month. That if you sign up by the end of June, you immediately get $50 off the price. If 12 more people sign up, not including myself, everybody in the group gets an additional $250 off of the total price. Now, if you decide to share a room with someone, have someone come along with you, your room accommodations will be free. Basically, when you sign up for this trip, it's going to ask you how many travelers you want. So if you want to bring along a husband, a boyfriend, or kids, go ahead, bring them along. There will be room accommodations to where you can actually get you a room for free, or if you are traveling alone and you are willing to pair up with someone else in the group who's traveling alone, we can get you paired up in the same room, so that way we can reduce the cost out for you, because a single room for one person is an additional $400 to the total cost. So save you another $400 right there. And as for the optional excursions, if you sign up for those, you can actually get $10 off the total cost. Now this is conditional. So like I said here in the presentation, it does not include the Athens extension, but if you sign up for any of the optional excursions, and you'll have plenty of time to think about it. So say, no, maybe I can't afford it at that point. Maybe you want to see what happens before you decide to commit to those optional excursions, that's fine. You can sign up for later. Sign up later for them. If basically the deadline to get the $10 off is 3 days before we actually leave. I'm serious. Just you have up till 3 days before we decide to leave to hop onto these special excursions. Personally, I've already signed up for just about all of them, except for the Athens extension. I'm kind of mulling that one around. So, how do we sign up? Here's what you want to do. You'll want to visit this website right here. If you want to take a moment to jot it down in a notepad or pause the video if you're watching the recording, or just click on the link in the description. You'll be able to sign up there, choose the options that you want. Let's say, for example, how many are traveling with you, if you want the flights accommodated for you, so on and so forth. Press book this tour and fill out any information that is required to get your profile together and put online. Like I said, in order to save your spot, you got to pay a $300 deposit, which will go towards the total cost of the tour. It's not going to be like a separate cost that in order to suck you out of more money. Now, one thing I would like to note is that the prices this show, you'll see it says PP, like $35 PP. That means per person. So all the prices that are shown on the website are per person. So just so you guys know, so that way there's a little less confusion. So like I said, if you have any confusions, feel free to give me a holler. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And if there's any questions I cannot answer for you, I'll be sure to forward them to my tour consultant with Go Ahead Tours. He's actually on a trip right now and won't be back till the 21st, so it might be a little bit. Now, here's a few added things that I wanted to clarify right now. This trip, like I said, you can actually make payments on this trip as you go along after the $300 deposit. But this trip needs to be paid up in full by the January 2nd of next year. Because afterwards, we won't get informations until just before the trip. In fact, if I remember correctly, the site advised that we'll be able to get flight information first, which would be roughly around January 19th, if I remember correctly, which ironically happens to be my birthday. So we'll get flight information first, then we'll find out what hotels we'll be staying in. And I promise you, this is not going to be, crappy, cheap motels with bed bugs and all that nasty stuff. These are high-quality hotels. In fact, you'll have to see it for yourself. Now, the cost. The biggest concern, cost. Now, because I have extended this event as a nationwide event, the cost is going to be slightly different depending on your location. Just depending on the flight information if you decide to book with Go Ahead Tours. In fact, I've taken the liberty of looking through the website and grabbing a few prices from across the country to give you guys an idea of how the flight information works. The cost of the tour itself, without any optional excursions, will be a little over $1,500, but the main thing is the hotel accommodations and flights. All of these prices I've listed on here, single traveler, one room, no optional excursions, and they said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, take on the flights so that way it's a little easier. So other than the little spiff right in Boise, which would be the airport I would likely be heading out of. Let me go get back to that. You son of a bitch. Alright. So basically, as you look carefully, other than the little spiff in Boise, which is the airport I would likely be going out of, the closer you are to the East Coast, the cheaper the cost will be for you. So if Also, because we are pretty widespread, I will be working on a few things to help each other be able to recognize who's all going on the trip beforehand, so that way we have a good idea of at least what everybody looks like. So, any questions? Yes, no, maybe so. If you have any questions, feel free to forward by email. My contact information is on the sign-up website, which is down in the description. Sorry. Yeah, my contact information, if you have any questions for me, I'll be sure to forward them to my tour consultant, so that way I can make sure I give you guys the right information. I'll be trying to answer everything to the best of my ability, and anything I can't, like I said, I'll forward to the tour consultant. So being that very few people decided to show up, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this broadcast. I hope you all enjoy. I hope to see you coming along with me on Europe. This is absolutely a very good opportunity to just experience life, experience a new culture, experience new things that are beyond anything you've ever imagined. Guys, you'd think you would know life, but no. These trips, you will become friends and damn near close to family to complete strangers. So anyway, being that that is the case, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. If you need to go through any more of the information, just go ahead and click through the video as you need to. I'll be sure to leave this video up and be sure to keep posting it out towards the world, so that way you guys can get all the information. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a holler. Peace, love, and all that good bullshit. I'll see you next time. Be sure to check out my online radio show, The Way I See It. Be sure to check out products I have for sale online. Check out my books, all that good shit. You know, like I said, be sure to check this out. This is an awesome opportunity that I would like to share with you guys. So anyway, see ya.